Good first victory. Proud of our team, the way we played. Obviously, there's a lot of things to get better. You know, a lot of people say that you're going to get the most improvement from week 1 to week 2. I hope that's the case with us because I think we have a good football team. I was proud of the way defense played. You know, the penalty in the first half extended that drive. It kept us on the field too long, but really proud of the defensive effort to overcome 0-4 turnover margin and win. Says a lot about our football team and how good of a team we have to come back and win by 15. So proud of the effort. It's a starting point. That's one, and we're excited to get back to work. You know, that's a good thing about this team. They're excited just about the opportunity in front of them, and getting one in the books and getting ready to get back to work on Monday.
What do you think about Josh Allen's play? Not Josh Allen. I'm sorry, A.J. Rose.
You know, when he broke off that long one in the first half, it was nice watching him because you saw another gear in a big, strong guy that can run like that. So it was good to see.
Mark, how much do you chalk up the turnovers to early rust or jitters just playing in the first game?
It is, but you know, there's no excuse for that. We'll get on it and get it corrected. You know, we had one game like that last year. You know, where it seemed like, you know, we don't, you know, we're not reckless or careless with the ball. In one particular game a year ago, we were the same way. Ball was on the ground, so we'll get it fixed and move on.
You don't get a chance to win too many with a -4. Does that say a lot about the defense kind of minimizing the damage?
It does, and again, I think, you know, if we are a little more aware of the situation on 3rd and 14. You know, and get the targeting call, we're off the field on that drive as well. You know, that extends it, keeps our offense off the field, just momentum, the whole deal. That's, you know, we got to be aware of the situation, down distance, and what you're getting into there. But yeah, other than that long drive on the defense, with again could have been stopped on that penalty. You know, I was proud of the way they played.
What did you think of your quarterback play?
You know, I think early on. You know, I think we could do a better job of putting we put a little bit of pressure on Terry in a lot of those plays are reads, and you know, we'll look into that, try to put him in a situation to get him comfortable and get him started. And I was really proud of the way Gunner came in. I just mentioned that to the team because the quarterback battles are always so public, and you know, a lot of these guys, you know, that are young players, maybe redshirted a year ago or freshmen now, and they come in here and they're used to being a superstar, and we have a lot of good players now, and so when they don't get their opportunity, I use that as a great example because Gunner, you know, when we sat in my office and we went through that, I talked about being prepared, and when he gets his opportunity, show what he can do, and you know, what a moment to come in there when we're losing in the first half, and I think it was 55 seconds, and drive us down and score a touchdown. Said an awful lot about Gunner and his character and his ability, and I was really proud for him. And you know, so you know, it was good. And then Terry coming back in, settling down, playing much better in the second half. You know, good effort overall by the team.
Second to last drive, rather than go for about a 48-yard field goal, you went for on 4th and 8. What was the thought process?
Yeah, it would have been 49, I believe. 49 or 50, and my cutoff was 48. I said that earlier this week. So no, I really didn't want to put him in the first, you know, the first one right at his limit. Really, you know, we'll do a better job in that situation. 3rd down could have been a little better for us. Put us in a situation to kick it right there, or go for, you know, 4th and short. So I really was more aggravated with the 3rd down play.
Mark, do you feel like you made some adjustments and with the offensive line to the protection play?
Yeah, we were, you know, it's like that sometimes early, and the guys were settling in, breaking in some new left tackles. I thought they did a really good job on a team that, you know, plays super hard. You know, they play hard up front and come after you. You know, we you know, did a good job of protecting them at times, of where we're taking our shots, how we were doing it, chipping, helping a little bit. And they settled in and played much better. When we're at our best when we get that balance going, we get the running game going, and you know, play action and setting up our shots. I thought we had some good plays set up and tried to attack them down the field. Protection got to get cleaned up a little bit, but we'll start hitting those.
Josh Allen, 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, sack. Is this kind of how you envisioned when you decided to?
I didn't even really realize that till you just told me that. I knew he had the sack, and I knew he was playing well. So I didn't realize his production was that high. So that's good. Couldn't tell during the game, but I can't. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think he has a chance to have a real big year. Sorry.
Mark, always want to give you an opportunity to comment on special teams play.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I thought, it seemed pretty solid. I didn't notice anything that stood out. There was their punter was spraying the ball early, and it was hard to judge. And then once Boove, he started making some tough catches off the bounces and just saving us those yards. Everything else seemed pretty solid. The one kickoff return they got late, we got to look at that and see what happened there. I know we got the clip or the hold. But, overall, I thought we were pretty solid. Thought Max punted the ball very good.
Bouvier seems fearless.
Yeah.
A lot of times on the punt return.
He is. He's made big plays all through camp. He really did a good job on offense. Made a critical play and a critical catch. He's been very solid.
Central Michigan only had 250 yards of offense. You talked about this being your best defense yet in the preseason. How did they perform? Were they up to their standard today?
Today was really, in the scrimmages, I mentioned it in my press conference afterwards because I could have been very frustrated after the second scrimmage because the offense played real good, but we were out some really key guys. And, and when you're playing with some young guys and trying to be as multiple as we were, getting them ready, some things stuck out. So this is the best we played as a unit, for a full game or a full scrimmage or anything to this point. And, I felt like if we get at full strength and play together, and I thought I really liked the way we played as a unit today. So it's what I expect of them and to improve from here.
How do you think Jordan Jones did first game back after the injury?
Didn't seem like too many things jumped out at me during the game. There was one thing that he didn't get a check and didn't run something properly, but other than that, I thought he was pretty solid. Seemed to play pretty disciplined within his drops and run fits and all that. So nothing that stood out to me until I watched the film.
How would you dissect Benny's play today, and then also was he a little under the weather this morning?
He was. He had a virus last night, or what did Jim tell me to call that? A viral. He had a temperature and a viral infection, and Jim thought he'd be okay overnight. We were watching him, and he woke up and wasn't feeling great, and so they took him to the hospital and gave him they gave him a bag of fluids and checked him out, and he came back and played pretty solid.
Coach, with Courtney Love not being there, Cash Daniels has stepped in. How much has his leadership and the fact that he's sat behind Love for 2 years there really contributed to his leadership on the field?
Yeah, I think it's a big part of it. He had a great guy to watch and play behind. And Cash has a lot of those characteristics himself. And I thought the combination of that is a big deal. And, Cash is a guy that's hard not to root for. He's a Kentucky guy. He cares about this program. He's passionate. He plays extremely hard, very unselfish. For those years he was sitting there behind Courtney, didn't say a word. Just what can I do to help? How can I help on special teams or, just learning his position. And that's what I told the guys in there. The young guys got to understand that and learn that. We have a great example of some older guys that have paid their dues and worked on it, and we have very good leadership on this team. So I'm excited, and we'll get some guys in gear and get them going.
Talk about Watson, Jamal Watson.
Yeah, Boogie seemed like he played pretty solid again. There was a couple things. I thought the game early, I was a little agitated. Some things were outflanking us and our leverage on the ball. you know, early in the year, we're so used to playing our offense. And you know, when you see somebody new and you see different formations and different things, I thought we were a little slow, a little lethargic at times. And then we picked that up, and that really helped us in the second half. I think the speed of the game and just basic stuff. You know, nothing, you know, it could be a 6-yard gain or 7-yard gain that shouldn't have been there. And we started, you know, doing some things better as a unit. But overall, I thought Jamar played really good. He's a good football player. You know, I expect him to play well.
You know, Cash Daniels led on tackles on the defensive side. Was there anything you were a little concerned about on the defense? Is it the secondary? Is it the defensive line? Or are you happy with it all around?
No, I think it was like I just mentioned. I think there were some things we needed to get ironed out that was a little bit agitating, you know, in the first half. But you know, you talk about them, they understood it. I think once they come to the sidelines and we talk about those things and you know, we get it figured out, then you know, they were better. And you know, again, I think you know, they were nickel and diming us a little bit early, and you know, the penalty really kind of, you know, really bugs me because you got them so backed up, you know, 4th and 14. So.
Did you consider leaving Gunner in for the entire second half, or were you always going to put Terry back?
Well, Terry was ready to play at the start of the second half, and Gunner deserved the opportunity to go back and play for what he did at the end of the first half there. And I'm glad. You know, in a way, I mean, obviously we don't want anybody to get hurt, but to be forced into that situation, see the way Gunner responded and the way he played, you know, says a lot about him, like I mentioned. And then to come back in the second half, and now you got to do the same thing with Terry. You got to get him back in and let him get acclimated to the game and the speed of the game, and get some, you know, positive energy going for the season. And so it worked out very good.
I was not seeing that the first road game of the year at the Swamp, and do you think both Terry and Gunner are ready for it?
You know, obviously we'll worry about that next week. It's a tough environment, and yeah, I anticipate that both guys will be ready to play. We'll see, you know, where we're at this week and get back to work. But yeah, both guys will be ready to go.
Are we still going to see 2 quarterbacks going forward?
I don't know.
Mark, if AJ continues, it's a long season, if AJ Rose continues to develop like he does, how much will that help Penny?
I think it'll help all of us. You know, it'll help our team. I think, you know, again, there were some things. He gave up one pressure that I know of, and but that just comes from playing. He's got to play, and we'll let him go. You know, he's not going to be perfect. We don't expect him to be perfect, but you got to tighten up some things and do all the things necessary for us to function offensively. But I'm very proud of AJ as well, because he you know, he's one of those guys that's kind of matured, and it's been not easy for him, you know, all the way through. And he is another great example of just kind of looking at himself and seeing what he can do better, and not pouting and crying and all those things. And he kind of just went about his business. He took the coaching, improved himself, and you're seeing that. So I'm very proud of that.
Very good.
Well,
Thank you very much.
you.